Hey, what's happening, folks? Hopefully everybody's having a great day so far. Let's talk about overlay.
Yeah, I'm hyped on Overlay, man. I again was a pick short yesterday, and I played the baseball one, the pick five, and freaking Elvis Andrews homer late, like killed me.
Yeah, I will say this on the site, you will go through some serious ups and downs. The nice part is like back-to-back days of up, like covers you for a while. So it's very similar to playing like the GPP method you do in baseball, where you're going to go through some lulls. One of the things I love about cash games on DK is your lulls are typically not too long. You'll go through some lulls on here, but when you win, like it covers you for a while. And like I've been winning again now that the NBA playoffs are here. So based on what I play, like I'm good for weeks and weeks and weeks if I don't win for a while.
Quit rubbing it in.
Well, I mean, it's been the other way around multiple different times. So we got baseball kicking off in about 3 hours. So we're going to start with NBA, but we'll get back into baseball after this for you guys who play that. Best of luck today. We've already touched on the NFL. And best of luck to everybody who plays in the PGA. Like maybe one of these days I'll just get in there for fun and just guess on a whole bunch of things.
Yeah, same. Although I'm definitely going to be in this baseball big boy today. So let's get this. I'm going to enter it right now while we do this.
All right, guys. So let's start off. I mean, this could be a lot of the same stuff that we saw the other day. We're going to have Giannis Antetokounmpo against James Harden in this situation. It's tough again. I'm pretty sure I will not pick this one towards the bottom if I pick it at all. You like both guys more than I do today. Which one do you like more?
Giannis, for one reason. Game 2 versus Game 7.
It's a great point. I'm with you on it. All right, next up. Plus, again, doesn't mean he won't play well today. We've never really seen James Harden, like in closeout games like this, be awesome.
I mean, I don't take too much into that personally. I just think that it's a slower game. I mean, I'm not going to be surprised if Harden goes nuts here.
All right, Butler versus Paul. I think we're going to differ on this one. I'm going to go Jimmy Butler.
I'm going to take Chris Paul.
Game 2. All right, Middleton versus Bam. Give me Bam and all that rebounding.
Give me Bam. Do we freeze?
Yeah, we're back now.
All right, cool.
I said give me I'll take Bam over Middleton. I like all those rebounding for safer numbers.
Yeah, give me Bam too there for sure. Although I don't like – I probably will pick it, but it's not my favorite.
Okay. Shai versus Dragic. Give me Dragic. I'm with you on it being a Chris Paul day, which will cut into Shai's usage. He's not been great the last couple of games, but I'll definitely take Dragic here.
I'm with you. I'll take Dragic too.
All right. The notorious Gallo hater, Matt Bellman versus Steven Adams. After Gallo coming off a big game, does that switch your opinion on this one?
No, give me Adams. Game 7, I think misses. Adams is going to not even play a big role, but he's going to clean up the mess. So give me Adams here. And
all right, I'm with you.
I will say, like yesterday, Gobert started out awful, but he ended up being really good. He had 6 points, 1 rebound at half, and he finished with like 17 and 17.
Yeah, not bad at all. All right, Rocco versus Schroeder. I'm Team Rocco on this one.
I'm Team Rocco also.
I am buying what he is selling.
Yep.
All right, Bledsoe versus Gordon. Bledsoe is still questionable. I think he plays. I don't know like how healthy he is. Why would I know? But we'll take our best guesses on this one. I'm going to go with Eric Gordon, who has just been steady and reliable.
Yeah, I'm going to go Gordon also. I don't love it, though.
Yeah, especially because he misses a lot of shots.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, and on this website, you get detracting points for missed shots. All right, Brooke Lopez versus Tyler Hero. Lopez, easy.
It's my favorite one on the board so far.
All right, Tucker versus Daniel House. This one's close.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Tucker, but it's real close.
I'm going to go Tucker also, but I feel like you keep saying that phrase, tempt the devil, and I do feel like I'm tempting the devil, like keep riding Tucker, you know?
I gotcha. All right, Jeff Keen versus Jay Crowder. On a minute, if this was, graded on your per minute basis, it would be so easy to go Jeff Green, but they showed last game, Crowder's size is a big part of matching up with Milwaukee. It's why we kind of talked him up for the first slate. Now, he wasn't great, but he played big minutes. Yeah, I don't think he picked up a single peripheral outside of rebounds and points, so definitely room to bump up there. I don't think Green's going to play a ton tonight if this game is close. They definitely seem to have their favorites within the rotation. He isn't quite there.
No, I'll take Crowder also, just for the consistency.
All right, Robinson versus Hale. So if Bledsoe plays, give me Robinson. If Bledsoe's out, give me Hale.
All day.
Okay. Dork versus Baisley. It's a tough one. We broke these two down. We talked about them a lot last night doing members only. I'm going to take Dork for the guaranteed minutes, but this is another one. Like if it was just a points per minute basis, it would be really easy to go Baisley.
This is another one, just like the Crowder Green. It'd be really easy to go Baisley. I will say, though, Dort has actually had like pretty high usage the past couple of games. And just because he's on the floor more, like, give me Dort, man.
It was funny because, well, he's another guy. He misses a lot of shots, though, too.
He does. And I'm high on Baisley. I think Baisley's going to be a player in this league. Dort is a defender. But,
you know, it's funny that OKC is exceeding everybody's expectations this year and doing it with some veterans like Gallo and Chris Paul. But they're actually set up for the future really well. Like, you got a legitimate lockdown defender in Dort. We like this Baisley kid. And even though Shai has had some weaker moments in the playoffs this year, I think he's a stud.
Yeah, same. Shai is an emerging star. Like, he reminds me a little bit of, like, Donovan Mitchell is, like, his progression. Different games, but, like, I think that they can be, like, similar type players in the league. Shai is still very good, even though he's not having a good series here.
You know, if it was me, and I'm by no stretch of the imagination a capologist or how this would work. I like what the Thunder are doing. I think it's a great story this year, but they were nowhere close, in my opinion, to contending for a title in the West. However, with what they have and all these draft picks that they have coming for, just bamboozling the LA Clippers with giving them Paul George for all that. And I would try to move on from Adams and Chris Paul in the offseason. If there's anybody, you know what I mean? Like, just not have them as part of the future to develop these guys and just take what you can get out of that situation.
It's funny, talking about this brings me back to when we talked about, and I know you kind of just alluded to this, that like if you were the Clippers, you think they would have been better off with Shai, Gallo, et cetera, than PG. Do you still feel that way?
Maybe not this year, but man, they give up a lot. Like you better win the title this year, because I think Shai, his ceiling is to be just as good as Paul George.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this, like Toronto basically said no to that because they, Kawhi, like they could have gotten Paul George to give up Siakam, and they were like, no. Paul George still has a lot to prove. I know you believe that.
A lot. And just because he had a fine game 5, like I'm not buying it. He wasn't that great in game 6.
No, and Dallas was like very beat up. I mean, first round opponent. Like Dallas was solid, but I never really gave them too much of a chance to beat the Clippers, honestly.
Definitely. All right. Iguodala versus Connaughton. I have very little interest in picking this one right here. I'll do the same thing, though. If Bledsoe's in, give me Iggy. If Bledsoe's out, give me Connaughton.
Sure.
All right. Austin Rivers versus Wes Matthews. Again, points per minute, give me Rivers, but because I know his minutes are a little bit more secure in this situation, give me Matthews.
Yeah, I like Milwaukee in this game, too, so I'm with you. Give me Matthews.
Olynyk versus DiVincenzo. So if Bledsoe plays, give me Olynyk. DiVincenzo, in a game where we thought he'd play more, barely touched the court last time out. So Olynyk, although he didn't play much, was very good on a points per minute basis. So I'm going to go with Olynyk.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Olynyk, too.
Intriguing that DiVincenzo barely touched the floor.
It is. And I will say, I'm just going back to one a couple before, Baisley versus Dort. I think Baisley is like an X factor for OKC. Like, I think that it's not out of the realm that he plays, like, not a lot tonight, like a decent amount, because he's good.
Yeah, especially if it's one of those things where they bring him in for like 4 minutes to give somebody a blow and he plays well.
Right, exactly, because he played well at the end of the last game, too.
All right. Opening, they got some of the early games on the MLB slate, so make sure you get your contest in within the next 3 hours. Man, what a performance by the Giants last night. And then just amazing. Dickerson with 9,000 feet of home runs. Belt was awesome. Solano was awesome. Brian Crawford was awesome. That was incredible.
It was. And right here, I know they're facing one of your favorites in Kyle Freeland.
Did you hold up before we get into it? Did you happen to? I don't know if you were watching the game late. You probably weren't because the Giants were already up by 100. But the last team to score in every inning of a game was the Rockies. But they actually did it in Chicago and only scored 13 runs that game, which is almost impossible to do.
Yeah, that is very tough to do.
All right. So Flores and Longoria, both guys good against lefties. I'll take Flores by an eyelash.
Same.
All right. Solano versus Brandon Belt.
I'll take Solano, but it's tough to go against Bell right now.
Yeah, Belt was excellent last night.
It's really good.
Solano's 5 of 8 off Freeland, and Belt's 3 of 19. That guy taught me into Solano. Solano was also good last night.
Yeah, he was.
All right. Brandon Crawford versus Ryan McMahon. Who's on the hill for St. Brand again today?
Logan Webb.
All right, give me McMahon.
Shit, give me Crawford, man. The Rockies suck. I want Giants here over the Rockies. That's all it is.
Yeah, I gotcha. Daniel Murphy versus Tapia.
Tapia leading off.
I'm with you on that one. Blackman versus Yastrzemski. So Blackman against Webb or Yastrzemski against Freeland?
Blackman.
Okay. I'm with you. Conforto or Pete Alonso? Who's on the hill for Baltimore today? Do you know? Forgot we haven't broken down these early games yet.
John Means.
John Means. Give me Pete Alonso then.
Sure.
All right. McNeil versus Wilson Ramos. Ramos should make the lineup today because he wasn't in there yesterday.
He should, but he sucks this year. So give me McNeil.
Fair point. Jake Marisnik versus Ahmed Rosario.
Give me Rosario. I mean, he's just better than Marisnik, who probably won't make the lineup even against the lefty. He very rarely makes the lineup. He might, but.
Who's on the hill for the Mets today?
Waka.
Waka Waka. All right, I'll take Iglesias then over Severino.
Really good too.
Iglesias?
Yes, he's hitting 400 this year.
Yeah, that's another reason to like him. I like Severino better against lefties, so this one was kind of easy for me. I'll definitely pick this one.
Mm-hmm.
Nunez versus Cisco? I mean, give me Nunez.
Homer twice for me last night, so for sure Nunez.
All right, Suarez versus Castiano. Who's on the hill for St. Louis today?
Oviedo. He's a righty.
It's a tough one then. Got any opinion on this one?
Suarez is in good form right now. And Castellanos was hot at the beginning of the year, so I'm going to go Suarez.
All right, Votto versus Moustakas. I'll take Moustakas. I'm just not a Votto guy.
It's interesting because yesterday, this game started like 20 minutes before the main slate. It was Sonny Gray versus Kim for St. Louis.
Grin got lit up.
Yeah, lit up. So it's hard to take too much from the rest of that game because that game was over early. Just got over early. I'll rarely take Votto over Moustakas, and I'm not going to change here.
Yeah, I have Sonny Gray in both year-long leagues, and because that game wasn't on the main slate, I never really looked at it very closely. And when I popped open my fantasy leagues today to set them, I'm like, what, dude? You gave up 6 runs in two-thirds of an inning? Like, that's not good.
I would have liked him yesterday, too, if he were on the main slate.
Well, glad he wasn't, right?
Yeah, it made no difference for me, but yeah.
All right, Colton Wong versus Tommy Edman.
Against Maley? Give me Edman. It's just better.
All right. Goldschmidt versus DeYoung.
DeYoung in good form right now.
I agree. Jesse Winker versus Brad Miller. Give me Winker, just better.
Give me Miller, hitting well right now.
Edman versus Galvis. Are you going to pick Edman over Wong or Edman over Galvis?
I think Edman over Galvis.
I agree with you.
I like the top of the order versus the bottom of the order, and on the road versus at home.
Agreed.
Match potentially.
Carpenter versus Fowler. Carpenter, high in the order.
They've been batting like 7-8, and Fowler's been better, so I'm going to switch it up and go Fowler.
Okay. Who's on the mound for Florida today?
Good pitching matchup here. Ryu for Toronto versus Sixto Sanchez, who was amazing last time out. Did you see that?
He's a righty, right? Yeah. It's a good one. I like these two young guys, in Teoscar and Cavan. Any strong opinions on this one?
Yeah, give me Biggio leading off probably. I don't know if Bichette's back tonight. I guess they have him here, but I trust Biggio more. And Sixto looked good last time. So definitely like the platoon split for Biggio in this spot.
Okay. And then Bo versus Vlad.
Give me Vlad because it's Bichette's first game back. Vlad doesn't look bad right now either.
Okay, on that one, Grichuk versus VR. Just give me Grichuk.
So you got Grichuk versus Sixto, or VR versus Ryu. I'm not going to pick it, but I'd go VR just for the gets on base more.
All right, Brian Anderson against Ryu. Rowdy Tellez against Sixto. I'll take Anderson against the lefty.
Same.
He's better than Tellez also.
A lot better than Tellez. You're right.
All right, Lords Gurriel versus Corey Dickerson. Give me Lords.
Give me Gurriel. All of a sudden, I like the Marlins lineup though with Starling Marte.
I mean, if the Marlins make the playoffs over the Phillies, it is proof once again that like money just cannot buy you rings in baseball. And they went out and spent all that money, and here the Marlins are literally like selling ham sandwiches in the parking lot to try to afford like minimum salary players and beating them out for a playoff run.
Seriously, like literally selling ham sandwiches. Like seriously, yep.
Sad. All right, guys, that's what we got for today.
Thanks, guys.